Okay, so I'm gonna keep my voice down low because I'm in the study room and there is an ventilator going on. Anyways, despite anything new that has come up, my opinion still stays the same. I've written the script back in July, a month after this whole canister of fuel blew up. I recorded the majority of this video in early August, right before I went on vacation and moved upstate. The rest of this particular piece will be played at the end of the section and called Afterthoughts, where I speak about related topics I haven't covered originally in this video, but I should have. Thank you and enjoy the video. Okay, yeah, I know. Not another I was once a Creepshow Art fan video. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say this isn't like the other videos made on her because that would seem kind of standoffish, and also it's true. This is just like the other videos made on Shannon, to the scope of a former fan and being dead serious. Anyways, hey everyone, it's me, Lyss. I know I haven't posted in 84 years. I had wrapped up my hopefully final summer semester before my senior year of college. And I know, I feel old, yet I'm supposed to feel young. I don't know, time is a strange concept. Will I make a video on that? Who knows? By the way, disclaimer, please do not harass anyone mentioned in this video. I do not support bullying or harassment, especially on a public platform like this. Do not dox or spread anyone's personal information that was meant to be private. Anyways, back to this video's topic. So, about 2 months ago, a YouTuber by the name of Creepshow Art was exposed for making anonymous posts about herself and other content creators on a site called Locale. I haven't heard of this site, and from what I've gathered, it's like a gossip site for things such as cosplay, YouTubers, something else. I didn't stay for long because I need brain cells. Now, it wasn't the fact that she was making these anonymous posts, but it was the fact that she was promoting herself and doxed her sibling anonymously. I pointed these out because these break the rules on Locale, and if you break the rules, the admins have a right to reveal your identity via IP address. So you broke the rules, Shannon. By the way, Creepshow Art's real name is Shannon, so I will be referring to her as that name, as I always have. So if you hear me say Shannon, just know I'm talking about Creepshow Art. And also, some may ask, why you bring this up? This is like months old drama. First of all, I'm not a drama channel or a tea channel, or whatever name it is called now. I initially wanted to make this channel an art commentary channel because of Shannon. I liked her attitude and her art, and I even sent footage of my art to her email to be featured. I highly doubt she ever got it though, because it was a rather large attachment, and my iMovie and my storage, they don't go very well. Anyways, I was a supporter of this woman and admirer of her work for over a year. She was one of the first creators I supported via Patreon, and then moving on to a YouTube channel member. Yeah, at least she didn't have a Twitch. Anywho, during the time I was subbed to Shannon, eagerly watching her videos on a daily basis, there was a lot of red flags that I missed, and in hindsight, I probably should have done a background check over someone like Shannon. Like, the straw that broke the camel's back for me was when Shannon tried to say, in a lengthy community post, that someone hacked into her IP address. Girl, come on. Are we that gullible? I'm not a tech geek or the tech savvy brown person that people expect me to be. But even I know it would be nearly impossible to hack into someone's IP address for almost a decade. On top of that, a YouTuber by the name of Emily Artful revealed that Shannon and her husband has been allegedly, for legal purposes, I must say allegedly, stalking Emily for nearly a decade. Look at that timeline. Oh my god, this plot is thickening like creamy soup. Emily's video will be linked down below, as well as Sleuth's and Omnia's, because their videos help me a lot understanding how Shannon, aka Creepshow Art, really is. And I know a lot of people would say Emily's quote-unquote evidence is speculative and yada yada, but when I first saw Emily's tweet regarding Creepshow Art months ago, I believed her. Wanna know why? Her profile picture. Now, before I explain, please know this. I'm not saying that if someone has an extremely similar art style to someone else, they are copying or tracing them. That's not what I'm saying. My art style was inspired by anime I watch. The media I consume, mainly Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh! However, in this case, where one YouTuber knew this other YouTuber and allegedly stalked this YouTuber with their former partners, something's fishy when you got similar art styles. Oh, sure, I hope that makes sense. So, since Miss Shannon was called out, she started deleting her own videos, and thankfully Shannon was re-uploading her deleted videos. And those who used to be fans or subscribers or whatever they'll call us, are now starting to see the red flags that a lot of us overlooked. Even before the lowcast posts were shown in Emily's video, there were people who criticized Shannon and her actions, and I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe that she could do no wrong, and yes, that shows how naive I was, and I still am naive to some degree. I mean, I'm 22, I'm still learning the world. I'm still learning much about the world and such. The one video criticizing Shannon that raised a few flags for me wasn't the video itself, but Shannon's response. You see, anybody can criticize anybody, but it's the response that one gives to that video. Anybody can criticize you on your art, but how are you going to respond? Because that shows your character and personality. Some of you may guess which video I'm talking about, but for those who don't, it was Tobys' video. Toby Majestic, that is. When Toby made that video that criticized Shannon, I was reluctant to watch, and I didn't even finish the first time around. I doubt I commented on it because I don't like to start a fight that my brain won't handle. But when Shannon responded to Toby's video, the way Shannon responded made me look at her a different way. And it became a pattern that I was blindly ignoring, and it was the fact that despite the majority of what Toby said in that video about Shannon falsely accusing a trans artist for being a predator because they make not safe for work art, or being an emotionally charged person who doesn't really do enough research to make a sufficient video worthwhile, Shannon uses the fact that her subscribers, mainly her original subscribers, missed her sketchbook story times and want those kind of videos back, but she won't. She can't. You know why? She was homeless. She was living in the car with her husband and trying to make ends meet. And in fact, that was 90% of the video. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was using the fact that she was homeless to say she will not bring back her sketchbook storytime videos, which, by the way, she kind of ripped off the idea from the person she allegedly stalked due to the trauma of being homeless. Now, hear me out. I do not look down upon the homeless. I understand not everyone can have a nice life with a roof over their heads and food and the basic necessities. But the thing is though, Shannon and her husband chose to live out of their car. You got it. They chose to be homeless. You can find it out in Emily Artful's lengthy video. Shannon using her past of being homeless as an excuse to get away from the shit that she's being called out for, instead of directly confronting the situation as the grown-ass woman she is. Yes, I forget that she's 26 or so. That was a flag I overlooked because I just saw it with the first offenses or so, you know. Then things started unraveling and started getting very sus. There was a whole Hopeless Peaches situation where I really didn't keep up with, or nor do I remember specifically. I do recall a video Peaches made regarding Shannon's involvement, and basically how Shannon's lies brought the community against Peaches. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? It was just really messed up. I can't fathom the words or sympathy I feel for Peaches because I love her art and art style, and she was funny, even funnier than Shannon. And it goes to show how someone can use their platform to redirect their situation to fit their narrative. And Peaches wasn't the only person Shannon had lied about. Remember the Jake Yonsei situation where Shannon claimed 2 drag queens were distributing CP? Apparently they never did, but Shannon made us believe that. The Jaclyn Hill situation, the one about her estranged father being a cult leader of a church in Africa. He's no cult leader, but Shannon's made us believe that. And who could forget the Karuna Satori situation? The one where she trash talked about an anti-vaxxer only for Karuna to come out and say, "Hey, I've changed, and I'm vaccinated, and so are my children." Yeah. And did we forget how Shannon reacts to being called out? Like a high schooler, my gosh. It is so hard to believe that this was written from a 25-year-old married woman. The way my jaw dropped when I found out her marital status and age, because holy shit, she shocked me with that pettiness and immaturity. Now, let's get into how she was accused of love bombing smaller creators. For those who don't know, love bombing is when someone showers you with love and affection as a way to manipulate you. Looking back on Shannon's interactions with others, I think she love bombed way more creators than we expected. Even her friends, I suspect, were love bombed by her. But I'm not going to say that friendship was fake or anything because I don't have great insight, nor am I an expert on friendships and such, so don't take my word for it. But let's start with the obvious, with how Shannon used smaller creators to her advantage. She would do this by starting up the video with a self-deprecating joke, as she would in every other video she's ever created, and asking her audience to go and sub to this person because she really loves her content and they feel that she have a lot of love and support. Now, at first glance, this is heartwarming, seeing someone with a platform over 500k subscribers at the moment bringing awareness to another creator who would greatly benefit from this opportunity. However, people start to feel suspicious about this, and I think I know why. It comes from Shannon's personality and the way her videos are almost misguided and misinformed, to a point where she rants on and on about someone, or somebody, or something, only to sum up what was going on at the very end. Most of the time it was just background noise to me that would be on my phone doing some shit. I'm pretty sure most of us were. I believe the reason why Shannon did this was because if she was ever caught wrong doing something, wrong, or was cancelled, she would have a great amount of folks to defend her no matter what. I mean, she shouted you out in her video, and you didn't even ask. She just happened to stumble upon your channel, watch your videos, maybe not all, and said, "Hey, they're cool. Let me shout you out on my big fat platform." Bada bing, bada boom, you get a massive amount of followers. And when someone does that and suddenly you're being outed as a shitty person, what will you do? Will you defend them or go on the bandwagon? When she first started this, I thought it was genuine that she was being a nice person that knows how to utilize her platform. Then she promoted Omnia, a small creator who makes similar content to Shannon's. The reason why I bring her up is right before Shannon shouted Omnia out, Omnia, along with another creator, Guy, made a video responding to Toby Majestic, the same person who made a video criticizing Shannon. Let me repeat that so y'all can hear clearly. Shannon shouted out a creator who made a video responding to another creator who criticized Shannon, but was not on the video that creator made on Shannon. God, I hope this sounds right. Anyways, even during Omnia being shouted out, you can hear Shannon trailing off for a brief moment and almost, this is kind of awkward kind of moment. And I know why. I was mostly caught up in the situation, and I always wondered why Shannon did that. Now let me get into a little bit of how Shannon used her friends as an advantage for this kind of situation. This may be testy waters because I don't want to say anything that may offend or something that isn't true, but I'll talk on a few things that really ticked me off. One thing that ticked me off was when this whole thing went down and Shannon was exposed. Majority of folks were like, oh, let's see how Shannon friends react to this, or you're keeping really quiet about this. It's not even 24 hours and they're mourning the loss of a friend they once knew and her betrayal. Let them grieve. It doesn't mean they have to make a video about it. They can make a written post about it. Yet, when they do make that video, suddenly they're on the bandwagon? Suddenly they're a friend turned hater? Come on, let's put down those double standards because they'll make you look pretty, darling. Anyways, how far are we? Okay. Let's get down to the locale post and why Shannon is a two-faced, spiteful person. See, when the locale thread on Shannon was revealed, YouTube was the first place where I was able to analyze them easily because someone else was there to help read them out and put them out on the screen, mostly True Sleuth and I believe Omnia also. It wasn't just a post that took me by surprise, but it was the timing. If I remember correctly, Shannon made a video on Court's husband, an artist, gamer, and creator with a deeply sexy voice, and she was praising him, telling us how we shouldn't pry into his personal, private life and respect his anonymity. However, on locale, Miss Creepshow Art was engaging in a thread about Court's husband. A thread actually did the opposite of what her videos on him encouraged. On top of that, she was also making fun of fans that love Court, as if she were any better herself. She was also seen making posts insulting an Asian creator on his skin, and guess what? These two people I mentioned here, she played Among Us with them. Talk about a two-facer. The amount of hate, animosity, bigotry, jealousy, pettiness one has to go through to be this motherfucker, oh my gosh. And at top of an alleged 8-year harassment on a creator who allegedly abusive ex became Shannon's current husband. Oh my god, this rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper. And there's one more thing that I want to talk about. Before all this blew out in the open, Shannon mentioned that someone was telling other people, assuming her followers, that Shannon uses they/them pronouns, in which Shannon posted on her Instagram story that she does not. I bring this up because I believe this may relate to Shannon anonymously doxing her sibling, who is a non-binary lesbian. This is an action that Shannon denies multiple times before the locale's posts were brought out. But looking at the locale's posts, and considering the fact that Shannon's sibling's Twitter account is private, now that does seem kind of fishy, huh? Afterthoughts. So for the Discord messages, I think I mentioned this when I brought up Omnia and Kai, but I didn't go into depth about the Discord messages themselves. I've linked the video, so watch it for yourself. I will not be reading them out loud. It's utterly disappointing to see that it was her putting down her own family members, misgendering their sibling, which I mentioned numerous times. I emphasize this again, and making herself look like the victim. Like she knows how to make a simple little situation into a big something I don't even want to know how to say. Another thing she mentioned was her brother passing. So Shannon mentioned in the video, and a few tweets I think, and I think an Instagram story, that her brother, who was in the army, had passed away. Whenever she mentioned him in the video, even if the video's topic had nothing to do with the passing of a person in the army or military, or someone's sibling and or relative, she would always talk about what a goofball he was and how goofy he was. I know I keep saying goofy, but that's the only word I can remember. Just after this whole thing blew up and slowly revealed itself, that thick fog of confusion and what the fuckery, we find out something shocking and interesting. Shannon's brother, who was in the army, was actually her cousin. and they weren't even that close. And this was confirmed by her sibling, but I forgot which video I found out from. But the fact that Shannon would use not only her relatives, but her late relatives in such a way shows her insensitivity and the way she tries to get sympathy points. For what? Now, I don't know why I didn't bring this up in the original recording, so I'll talk about it here. Ready to Glare. She's a YouTuber who does commentary and I believe some fashion hauls. Correct me if I'm wrong. I bring her up because she used to be one of Shannon's closest friends, and I know that all this must have devastated her, especially knowing that Shannon talked shit about her via locale. It's disheartening to hear and see that the evidence right there, because it's more than just a slap in the face. I'll reference one of Shannon's videos, a story time where Shannon mentioned that back in high school, one of her classmates pretended to be in a relationship with her just so the girl could have some clout and popularity points for being with a queer student. And correct me if I got that story time inaccurate. To me, it felt like Shannon didn't take this friendship seriously and was practically laughing at all the friends she had because she knew she was a terrible person. And she knew that if they knew what she was capable of or her past, they would have never brought her into their circle. They would put her to the ringer and back if they knew about her past. But, okay, let me take a step back and clarify something. I'm not saying that Ready to Glare or any of Shannon's former friends would absolutely do that. But I do know a certain group of YouTubers who go to the bitter end to shit-mouth a public figure or content creator who's caught doing something heinous, criminal, or morally wrong. Speaking of such, although Holly Brown didn't do anything terrible, to be honest, but this was something Shannon did, especially to Holly Brown. About 2 or 1 year ago, I don't know the time of this, an artist by the name of Holly Brown was caught tracing a scene from Full Metal Alchemist, which by the way I love and should rewatch, for her Full Metal Alchemist fan art. Now, in the art realm, tracing is heavily looked down upon. Now, although I don't support tracing, I mean, and they don't trace, the claim is yours when you don't mention that you reference it from somewhere, and it's clear evidence that you actually did trace it. Because there's a certain group of people, not the same group I mentioned earlier, they're going to find out and will tear you apart. I'll probably make a video on that later, so it makes more sense. So back to Holly. I believe D'Angelo Wallace made a video on her tracing, and so did Creepshow Art, Shannon. But the way Shannon presented her video on Holly, though, it really brought out some of Shannon's colors. Her harsh attitude, her condescending words, her choice of words, and basically just hearing some high school bully talk their ass off. And that's what Shannon is, a bully. Even after the video, Shannon would constantly talk down about Holly to the point where you couldn't find Holly anywhere on social media. Then Holly came back a few months ago, or at least she resurfaced on my recommended, and I'm wondering, why does that name look so familiar? I watched her video, and it opened my eyes to the personality and deception of Shannon. It's similar to how Shannon manipulated the situation with hopeless speeches. She would have never stopped had Loco not revealed her posts, and Emily would have had a harder time proving that Shannon and her husband were her alleged stalkers. Now, this is the end of the video. No, I have not listened to Shannon's voice memos or read her DMs to Tipster. This is more than enough to confirm and solidify my opinion of someone I once looked up to, supported, and was even inspired to switch up content. I seriously hope everyone in the art community has learned a lesson and has taken notes on what not to do, and it's okay if you're naive and still learning more about this situation. I was completely blindsided by this revelation, but it's taught me who to trust and that not everyone is a saint, and not everyone wants to admit that they're perfect or did anything, no matter how much they try to put themselves down. I hope everyone has a wonderful day or night. I will hopefully catch you in my next video. Bye bye. Alright, well that was my final point for this video. This whole situation and finding out who Shannon, aka Creepshow Art, really is opened my eyes to how naive and shocking it was for me due to my blind loyalty and giving her donations, because I saw her as a struggling artist who was homeless and found it was by choice to save on rent money and being too stubborn to watch any other videos that seemed too critical of her. It's baffling how this woman was an inspiration for my commentary videos, and it embarrasses me. But yeah, this sums up what this whole video is about. I encourage you to check out the videos linked down below that support what I'm saying, as well as any receipts and screenshots, because my iMovie here does not like it when I try to edit something. And I'll hopefully catch you in a hopefully lighter video. I'm gonna say the next upload will be in September, since August is a very chaotic month in terms of me moving. I'll try to be more active on my socials. I'm definitely more active on Twitter, which you can find in my link tree below in the description box. I hope everyone is safe, have a wonderful summer, get vaxxed, hydrate, and I'll see you all in my next upload. Bye!